What's up, family? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Mediazew TV. And I hope everyone out there is doing okay, staying in good spirits and in good health. Today's episode is a juicy one. We're diving into the fallout between Snoop Dogg and DannyBoy that's been burning up the internet lately.
I did 2 songs. When it came time to do paperwork for a deal, he offered me a single deal for $10,000. I ain't gonna tell y'all all this shit because I'm gonna put this on a podcast. And let me tell y'all something about me, because I know y'all got y'all little theories. Don't say too much. You know, because of what the industry do, y'all ain't gonna do it. The industry ain't gonna do a motherfucking thing to me. Nothing. That's about why y'all won't let me in, because I've been and fucking killed one of you motherfuckers. I can't stand a fake ass nigga. Fuck that shit. That shit. Right, what artist he signed from Georgia? The one he gave that fake ass ring and chain to? That shit gonna itch his neck. He tried to offer me this little deal. And we caught it. He was trying to do a little single deal, and the deal would have had me stuck for like 5-6 years. That's the first deal that he tried. And after we seen that was bullshit, that's when the bullshit kind of began. Nah, no publishing. I ain't never got no publishing from DeathRow. I should have kept that shit buried like it was in my mind.
But for those of you who don't know who DannyBoy is, he's the famed Chicago singer and former Death Row artist, most famous for his collaborations with Tupac. Recently, DannyBoy has been making headlines for accusing Snoop Dogg, the new owner of DeathRowRecords, of foul business practices. This all came after DannyBoy reunited with the label this past summer and dropped a single. But here's the thing. DannyBoy's meltdown just came out of nowhere. And I keep asking myself, why? Why would DannyBoy at this stage in his career be trying to sign a record contract when the independent route is clearly more lucrative? It seems to me like DannyBoy is addicted to being famous more than anything else. I mean, let's be real. DannyBoy has been around long enough to know the phrase, the record industry is shady. So why the F would you want to go back to DeathRowRecords of all places at this point in time? Let's keep it a buck. Death Row hasn't been a hot label since 1998. After Tupac died, that was pretty much it. And even then, the only thing keeping Death Row afloat was those posthumous Tupac albums. You take those away and Death Row probably would have died a long time ago. Now, DannyBoy's been in the business for 30 years and he's still complaining. I don't understand why an artist with that much experience will be running to anybody for a record deal. Like, are you taking notes? Because the younger artists have shown everyone how to get money without a major label. And at this point, there are no excuses. You can't blame anybody else if you already have a known name and a brand in the music industry. Let's talk about Reggie Wright Jr. for a second. You see, a lot of people don't like Reggie Wright, but you can't deny that he's still connected and spot on about everything concerning Death Row 98% of the time. And Reggie had even warned DannyBoy about trying to go back to Death Row. DannyBoy didn't listen. Now, don't get me wrong. Tupac showed DannyBoy a lot of love by putting him on songs so he could get some exposure. But DannyBoy didn't capitalize off of it at all. And that's the frustrating part, because I was a huge fan of DannyBoy. And DannyBoy is too talented to be online whining and complaining about a record deal. And when you talk about the publishing issue, DannyBoy is always complaining about never receiving any publishing from Death Row. But he always conveniently leaves out the fact that Tupac wrote the hooks that he sung, and he never wrote his own material. So what is he really talking about? And as a culture, we've gotten to the point where the men are worse than the women with the catty behavior, online every day, going back and forth with each other. And at DannyBoy's age, why would you be running to the internet on a live stream to talk about your business with Snoop Dogg. That's the first head scratcher for me. If it was a bridge, why would you be trying to burn down your last bridge probably? Because at the end of the day, Snoop don't need DannyBoy. This whole situation should have been handled behind the scenes. Once you take it to the internet, you got 1 million eyeballs watching, and a lot of those people aren't going to want to do business with you, regardless of whether you call it speaking your truth or not. It's just a teenage move, in my opinion, coming from somebody who's damn near 50 years old and should know better. And let's talk about the $10,000 upfront advance money for the single deal Snoop offered him. It probably could have been negotiated for more behind the scenes, but DannyBoy jumped the gun by going to the net. So the reality of the situation is nobody today has really heard from DannyBoy on a big scale since he did I Ain't Mad At You with Tupac, and that was in 1996. Even though he's been recording music since then, the only thing people really know him for today is coming on podcasts, saying that he's a part of the rainbow community. And that's not a bad thing, but that's all the younger generation knows him for. Being a part of the rainbow community and talking about Suge Knight like a dog. So I don't understand why artists keep wanting to be signed to a label and work with the same people who have done them dirty in the past. In this day and age, there's no excuse not to make it happen. So, DannyBoy, here's my advice to you. Instead of always coming on the internet to vent your frustrations and crash out every other day, use the net to cultivate a new fan base and just drop dope music. Snoop and Death Row ain't holding you back. Just drop some fire shit. You got the talent to do it. Get some nice cover art. Just drop music. Make the people come look for you instead of chasing deals. Create your own leverage. Use it to your advantage, especially after being in the game for 30 years. The older artists should be leading the youngsters to the money, but it's the other way around. These youngsters will upload a 2-minute song, get booked for shows all across the country, making $30,000 a weekend. I'm just at the point where I'm tired of seeing DannyBoy whining about everything. I'd love to see him win because I've always been a fan of him in that Death Row era, but it's getting kind of late for DannyBoy. But the one thing I do know is that with hard work, God is able to move mountains. So I'd like to say, DannyBoy, keep your head up and just get on your grind, man. And to my Mediazew TV family, thank you for tuning in to another episode. And if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, share it, and subscribe for more updates. And remember, put God first, stay engaged, and stay informed. Peace.